Andrei Chikatilo, the infamous butcher of Rostov, was a Soviet serial killer, whose brutal killing spree began with the murder of 9-year-old Lena Zakotnova in 1978 and turned into a reign of terror that would last over a decade. His story ended with the biggest spectacle in post-Soviet Russia, the capture and trial of a monster who had stalked several countries in the former USSR for decades, hunting along the train stations for fresh meat he could lure into the woods and kill. Chikatilo was an unusual serial killer, driven by a boiling rage within him from his lifelong inability to perform sexual acts. More often than not, he couldn't even have intercourse with his wife. It was from this that Chikatilo learned how to express his lust and sexual appetite through rape, torture, and violence. Even during his trial and confession to murdering 56 people, Chikatilo came uncannily close to admitting to have engaged in cannibalism, but would ultimately back down when the time came to confess to actually eating people. Chikatilo met 17-year-old Larisa Kakenko outside a public library in 1981. He overpowered Kakenko and wrestled her to the ground, strangling her to death before biting off one of her nipples and desecrating her corpse. Chikatilo would disembowel many of his victims, often removing the uterus from women, which he said he would nibble and chew on, claiming to have enjoyed the taste and texture. Many of Chikatilo's female victims were missing their uterus and nipples, both body parts Chikatilo claimed to have a particular fondness of chewing on. He even bit off one victim's tongue. Chikatilo was executed on February 16, 1994, by a single gunshot behind the right ear.